Have you ever wondered why people say all modern music sounds the same? Ever wondered that yourself, maybe? Well, I'll be the first to tell you that all music does sound the same. What even is music anyway? Probably a social construct. Genres? Sounds like a government plot to do mind control. Again, I would never fall for such an obvious trap, and I definitely don't produce my own auditory propaganda. All schizorambling aside, certain music does tend to sound very similar if you're listening to radio stations or if you're simply using things like Spotify to do the finding for you. This is because music is heavily reliant on patterns. Without patterns, it's not really music, it's just pretty noise. Everything from the scales, the rhythm, the melodies, the types of sounds used, to the arrangement of percussion. It's all based on patterns, which naturally means that music itself is also going to exist in specific patterns. When you are listening to a radio station or playing stuff from a YouTube channel that posts different types of music, you're listening to a filtered collection of music. There are people who decide which songs get played or uploaded, and those people have their own internal standards for what music does or does not get accepted. This means that every single broad selection has been curated. It's a type of curator's bias. This can sort of create the sense that all music sounds the same because you're essentially listening to one person's taste in music, possibly a small group's consensus on music. It basically is all the same within those spheres. The real kicker is that this is kind of unavoidable. If someone is going through and selecting what gets played and what doesn't, then this curator's bias is always going to exist in some form. Even in the case of algorithms selecting music for you, like what Spotify does, they use your existing listening patterns to feed you the most likely matches, which means more of the same things. There is no solution, but that's okay, because it's not really a problem to begin with. If everything new you hear sounds the same and you're bored with music, let me make some suggestions. First off, try and find different sources of music. Play a different station, find a new channel, hop on a playlist made by a real person rather than an algorithm. It doesn't really matter as long as you break your own pattern of listening. If all you ever do is listen to the same sources and the same types of music, then it's naturally all going to feel the same. Second, keep your ears wide open and listen to everything at least once. I make it a personal habit to never dismiss a song because of its genre, and I always give each song I come across a fair chance, regardless of what it is. I've come across songs I do like that belong to genres I largely despise simply because one particular artist made one particular song in a way that appealed to me personally. I would have never found those songs if I had completely blocked out the entire genre. Third, which might be the most understated point I'm going to make, is to give yourself a chance to absorb and process the patterns of the music you're exploring. I have had many instances where I listen to something, feel unsure about it, then hear it again days, sometimes weeks later, and I realize I actually do like it. I have a specific playlist of music I'm not sure about that I can revisit later once my brain has fully processed what I heard. It's about a 50-50 chance on whether I decide I don't like it or I do like it. And sometimes I hear a song I thought I liked and then decide I didn't actually like it as much as I thought I did. The key here is that the brain needs time to work through musical patterns and come to the internal decision of yes or no. Music has a funny habit of growing on people because the patterns of it sink into the brain and become more familiar. What sounds like nonsense at first can slowly become understandable over time, and elements that used to bleed together can become discernible with enough time and careful listening. Some music is more social too. Maybe that popular song you hated isn't actually bad. It's just carrying some negative associations in your memories somewhere. I listen to a wide variety, and I don't have any good answer when people ask what music I listen to. I go through every so often and just listen to everything a music channel has uploaded since I last checked. I have a selection of music channels I just cycle through, so I get a decent variety for myself. Sometimes I'll add them to my Spotify liked list and see what Spotify can come up with based on that. I can go through many dozens of songs before I find one I can appreciate. Sometimes hundreds if it's a genre that I'm not usually a fan of. There are a lot of reasons that I don't like some songs, most of which come down to lack of clear intent or insufficient follow through. I never follow individual artists because I haven't ever found an artist who consistently makes things I like. I don't have anything against any particular artists. I just have abnormal and unusual standards. Maybe most popular music does sound the same, but that doesn't mean all modern music is a bust. There are a lot of creatively inclined people in the world, so it's not that they don't exist. It's just that you have to be willing to go find them. There's music for everybody, even if that music is peculiar.